I told my agent, get me to Luka, no excuses.
The NBA is close to one of its biggest shakeups in years. Luka Doncic going to the Lakers was not just a flashy trade. It changed everything and forced the league to rethink who really has power. Now things get serious. Reports say Giannis Antetokounmpo and his agent are quietly planning ahead, with one clear goal in mind: a future where Giannis ends up with the Lakers next to Luka. This is not random talk or a fan rumor. There is real movement behind the scenes. Today, I'm breaking down how Giannis and his team are thinking step by step. Once you connect the dots, this trade window looks very different. If you think this is impossible, you're not paying attention. Stars getting traded is normal. Players thinking about their next move is normal. But when a two-time MVP and NBA champion even hints at leaving the only team he has ever played for, that is a big deal. How did this go from an internet fantasy to a real front office conversation? It starts with Luka Doncic being traded to the Lakers, one of the wildest moves in recent NBA history. That trade did not just change one team. It shifted the entire league. Luka is no longer an MVP rival stuck in Dallas. He is now the face of the Lakers, the biggest franchise in the biggest market. And that matters to Giannis, because timing is everything in the NBA. When one superstar lands in Los Angeles and another superstar starts looking at his future, people around the league start doing the math, especially when that city has global reach, constant media attention, and a front office that never stops working. Now, this is where things really get interesting. Beyond the idea of teaming up with Luka, Giannis Antetokounmpo has quietly been having serious conversations about his future in Milwaukee. ESPN's Shams Charania reported that Giannis and his agent have been meeting with the Bucks front office to decide whether staying long-term still makes sense or if it's time to explore other options around the league. No final decision has been made, but the fact that these talks are even happening is huge. This is the first time in Giannis' career that the idea of leaving Milwaukee has been openly discussed. For years, he was seen as a Buck for life. Now, that door is at least cracked open, and this didn't start recently. Reports say that back around 2020, Giannis was already looking at big market teams. Miami was mentioned. Dallas was mentioned. Those were real options before he chose to stay in Milwaukee and eventually win a championship. Now think about that timing. Back then, Luka Doncic was already the face of the Mavericks. He was running the offense, entering MVP talks, and being labeled a future superstar. When Giannis looked at Dallas, he wasn't looking at a rebuild. He was looking at a team built around Luka. That idea never went away. It just went quiet after the title run. Fast forward to today. Luka is now with the Lakers, and suddenly Los Angeles is in play. When you look at it that way, the pattern is hard to ignore. And yeah, it still feels strange even talking about Giannis being available. But here we are. Giannis helped build the Bucks into contenders. He delivered a championship. His loyalty was never in question. But loyalty only goes so far when the league keeps changing around you. The Bucks have lost ground. His contract gives him options. And for the first time, Giannis is clearly stepping back and asking what he really wants the rest of his career to look like. Once you stop treating this like a fake trade machine idea and start seeing it as real people making real decisions, it makes sense. Giannis wanting to play with Luka is not random. This has been building quietly for years, right in front of everyone. Giannis has always talked about Luka differently. When Luka's name comes up, Giannis doesn't sound scripted or media trained. He sounds genuinely impressed, sometimes even excited. Over the years, especially during All-Star weekends, you can see it in how Giannis jokes with Luka, how relaxed their conversations are, and how real the respect feels. Nothing looks forced. It feels like mutual understanding, not small talk. Giannis has publicly praised Luka's basketball IQ more than once. He's talked about how Luka sees plays before they happen and how he controls the game without being the fastest or strongest player on the floor. And that praise matters because it's coming from someone who knows exactly what it takes to carry a franchise night after night.
Malika, sources tell me that Giannis Antetokounmpo and his agent Alex Saratas have started open conversations that are active right now with the Milwaukee Bucks.
When Giannis compliments Luka, it isn't hype. It's recognition. This is respect from one alpha to another. It goes deeper than NBA media narratives. For years, European outlets have grouped Giannis and Luka together as the faces of European basketball. Not as rivals, but as leaders. Different styles, different paths, but the same responsibility when it comes to pushing the league globally. They are constantly mentioned together, and that matters. Giannis clearly sees himself as part of something bigger. He has said before that he wants European players to win and succeed in the biggest markets, under the brightest lights. He wants them taken seriously as faces of the league, not just international stars passing through. Luka fits that vision perfectly. Same pressure, same expectations, and the same understanding that you represent more than just yourself every time you step on the court. And here's the part people underestimate. The interest goes both ways. Luka has reportedly asked internally about the possibility of the Lakers making a move for Giannis. Now, put all together. Luka is in Los Angeles. Giannis is at a crossroads. What once felt like a distant fantasy suddenly feels real. That's why we need to revisit what Giannis has said in the past about Luka, the Lakers, and European stars ending up in major markets. At the time, it sounded playful, almost casual, like a superstar thinking out loud. But timing changes everything. When Giannis said it, Luka was already in Los Angeles. And while American media brushed it off as just another quote, the context now looks very different. But looking back now, it reads very differently. In Europe, this was never treated as a joke. Media there framed it as Giannis sharing a vision. Not just talking basketball, but talking about influence, visibility, and legacy on the league's biggest stages. It was about European stars stepping into power roles instead of waiting for permission. What once sounded light and playful now looks like intention meeting opportunity. This is no longer about rumors or fans playing fantasy GM. We're talking about the possible formation of something that could seriously shake the entire league. And context matters. Luka landing in Los Angeles didn't just fill a roster spot. It completely changed the Lakers' identity going forward. For years, LeBron James was the center of everything. He set the timeline, attracted stars, and kept the Lakers at the center of the basketball world. But LeBron is clearly nearing the end of that run, and everyone in the league knows it. So Luka didn't just join the Lakers. He stepped straight into a power vacuum. Everything now revolves around him. The Lakers instantly went from a team in transition to one of the most fascinating situations in the NBA. And that's exactly why this matters so much for Giannis. Luka is young, truly young, for a superstar with that level of control and polish. He's elite, flexible, and adaptable. He doesn't need others to reshape their game around him. He can adjust to almost anyone and any system.
Look out! Magic, I want magic now. Now this is the time. Come on. I want it.
He's an incredible player, incredible talent. Arguably, probably one of the most talented player I've ever seen in my lifetime. It's unbelievable what he can do for himself and his team.
That's huge for Giannis. He's not trying to babysit a roster or carry a team by himself anymore. He wants a true partner, someone who complements his game instead of overlapping it. And Luka checks every box. Let's be real. The Lakers didn't just land a star, they locked in the next decade. Most franchises would do anything to secure a generational talent like Luka and have the resources to build properly around him. For Giannis, that looks like a green light, a place where he can arrive, stay competitive, and build something real with a teammate he genuinely respects. The way Luka attracts talent is very different from how LeBron James did it. LeBron pulled stars with power, legacy, and influence. Luka draws them in with fit, flow, and chemistry. He makes elite players look at the game and think, I could really thrive next to this guy. That's the key difference. This isn't about building around one ego or one voice. It's about building around how basketball actually works on the floor. Spacing, reads, timing, and trust. After LeBron, the Lakers could have drifted into uncertainty. That was real, but Luka stepping in flipped everything instantly. He turned the Lakers back into a destination. Not for players chasing headlines, but for stars chasing real basketball chemistry and long-term purpose. And if you're paying attention, this is exactly why Milwaukee starts to feel smaller by comparison. Giannis has built an incredible career with the Bucks. MVPs, a championship, global respect, all of it. But even at his peak, the Bucks keep running into the same walls. Now let's talk playoffs. In 2021, they finally broke through and won the title. It was a legendary run. In 2022, Giannis was incredible against Boston, averaging about 34.5 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists, but the Bucks still lost in the second round. In 2023, it got even worse, with Milwaukee getting shocked early by Miami despite being a top seed. The league has learned how to slow Giannis down just enough. He's still dominant, but even he knows there are limits when the roster around him can't consistently relieve pressure. Winning once was huge, but it didn't unlock the repeat success he's clearly chasing now. And let's be honest, the supporting cast isn't what it used to be. That 2021 group with Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday was built to win. Since then, the roster has turned into a mix of solid but imperfect pieces. Miles Turner brings rim protection and shooting. Kyle Kuzma can score. But after that, you're looking at players like Cole Anthony and Gary Trent Jr. Useful contributors, not players who decide playoff series year after year. Now, add the salary cap reality. Milwaukee is deep into the luxury tax, locked in by contracts with very little flexibility. Adding another true star would mean gutting assets or taking on money they can't easily move. The cap is tight, the margin is thin, and the results speak for themselves. And if this really is where everything has been heading, maybe the most uncomfortable question isn't whether it should happen, but whether it was always inevitable. That if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you in the next one.